Hello, hello. I'm checking if we are live and if we can all see me. Okay, so hello to the not first, not second, but the third stream of a SimRail. This time we will be streaming the release of a SimRail Prologue. So we will see new features, we will see new stuff, we will see plenty of fixed bugs, and you will be able to see the future and where we are basically heading in the SimRail as a SimRail company. So, as I know, we are live on a Facebook, we are live on a Steam. So don't hesitate to type and contact us, and basically we'll be able to answer some questions. We'll be basically picking the stuff, and as I will be able to, I will answer some stuff. And today I will show you what we got new in SimRail. So as we basically promised you, we updated demo as a prologue with a new mission, what will be basically available for all of you guys to see with a cargo train, with the trucks. So that's basically, let's say, kind of a gift for all of you, because you've given us so much input on the community hub on the Steam. And I will be telling it many times during this stream today, but basically we collected such a big feedback on the community hub, and we basically seen so many stuff what we can actually implement into the game. You gave us so many ideas that we basically follow some of your guidance, and basically we respect your input a lot, because we really like to build a simulator what is basically the best for everybody, and we are open-minded, and we are very glad if you are giving us the input. So, as I said, is a kind of a saying thank you for all of you, so you can check where we are heading. And today you will see two new missions, and the first one what we're gonna play is with a cargo train, what we said earlier on the release of first demo. Okay, so let's see what we have in here, and we will choose the truck's locomotive, and we're gonna start around midday, and yeah, let's play. Let's see. Okay, here we are. So basically,
welcome to the Prologue of SimRail, the railway simulator. You are in the heart of Upper Silesia, located in the south of Poland, the most industrialized part of the country. The coal mined in this region has fed many power plants for decades, and the steel produced in the local steel mills was used as the building material for many facilities. In front of you, you can see a truck's locomotive with a freight train loaded with coal for one of the power plants in eastern Poland. You will lead it on a section from Staszic coal mine in Katowice to the Sosnowiec-Dańdówka station. Perform your task carefully and admire the industrial landscape. To enter the locomotive, approach it and click on the doors or press 1 on a keyboard.
Okay, so basically we are invited with a little bit of let's say background info. We know where we are, we know where we're heading, and what basically we're gonna be doing today. So let's go into the locomotive, and here you can see some of the improvements what we've done. We have basically made a new animation.
Turn on the battery and activate the driver's seat with a switch on the rear wall of the cabin.
Okay.
Use the button or a spacebar on the keyboard to deactivate the CA-SHP security system.
We can use the space
These
bar.
systems will regularly check your alertness while driving. To sit on the driver's seat, press on it.
Okay, let's have a seat. Okay, so that's the sum of the features.
Our vehicle is powered by electricity from overhead contact line system, so it's necessary to lift the pantograph.
Okay, let's follow the guidance first.
Now, close the quick circuit breaker.
Here we go.
Wait for a quick circuit breaker to close, and also wait for the converter and compressor to start. The correct operation of these devices is necessary, for example, to supply the braking system of a train. Now, set the forward direction. Move the brake lever to the drive position. It may take a long time to loosen up the brakes. To speed this up, you can hold the lever in a filling position with an increased cross section.
Okay, so I'm braking
To
this
sit
locomotive.
on the driver's seat, press on it.
Takes a little while, as it is in real life. So we can basically jump out of
To
the
enter the
train
locomotive,
and have a
approach
look,
it and
because
click
we
on the
can see
doors
the
or press
at
1
top
on a
right
keyboard.
corner. Actually, not really convinced. On the top right corner, we can see the state of our brakes. It takes a long time because we have to unpressurize all the units. So basically, all the wagons and all the brake pipes have to be unpressurized. So it is a quite a big distance, those pipes, what we have to do. So basically that's why it takes so long. Okay, so we can have a look around, see how the locomotive looks from outside, so we don't have to spend this time inside. Getting the info that maybe it's a little bit too loud in the game, so I will try to adjust so everybody can enjoy the stream. Okay, so we can get inside again, as it basically
To
is
sit
getting
on the
to
driver's seat, press on it.
There we go. Let's close the doors. Let's have a see. Okay.
It may take a long time to loosen up the brakes. To speed this up, you can hold the lever in a filling position with an increased cross section.
So yeah, unfortunately we have to wait until it's all done before we will be able to proceed further. So probably during the stream you will see a lot of, let's say, improvements, and you also are able to download the game for free and try it by yourself. Where we have plenty of points what basically we've done.
Now
will be
the train
included.
brake test
Oh,
will take place. The auditor will
let's
check
listen
if the
to
all
the
cars
lecture.
have working brakes. Follow his instructions via radio.
41, 40, 18 brake.
Okay. So we have to do a
Move
brake
the brake
test.
lever to the brake position.
41, 40, 18 on brake.
Move
We
the
can
brake
hold,
lever to
hold
the
high
drive
flow
position.
charge too, so it takes a little bit quicker. Okay, so anytime when you don't understand what is said in the game or through the radio, because sometimes it is quite messy. Everything is written on the bottom left corner, so you won't lose anything and you won't get lost.
41,
Okay.
40, 18. Okay. All brakes are good to go. Thank you.
Use the call button on your radio telephone to confirm the readiness to the train
Yeah, we are
dispatch.
ready.
Train 41 4018, Starship Call Mine Dispatcher, radio check.
41, 40, 18. Good radio. Ready for train data.
I have 25 cars, 2000 tons, length of 370 meters, one locomotive E186134, driver Stevenson, ready to depart.
Understood. My name is Ferran. Readiness number is 27. Stand by for signal indication.
Press on your chair or use the E
Oh,
key to
yeah.
get
So
up.
now we have to stand up.
Before
and
we
we
will
have
be
to
able to
release
go,
the
we
spring
need
brake.
to release the parking brake. This button is placed just
Let's
behind
have a
you on the
see
rear
again.
wall of a cabin.
Here we go. I think
Move
we
the
are
lever
ready.
forward to apply power and go.
Okay, so let's start our journey with a truck's locomotive. We can feel that this train is heavy, so it will take a little bit of a time and power actually to accelerate this. So as you will be able to see, we worked very hard on optimization of our game because our physics system is so, let's say, it's so hardcore and it's so precise that it takes a lot of, let's say, hardware power to actually count everything, because our physics systems counts itself like 1,000 times a second. So we spent this time actually on improving the optimization. That was one of our main points. And the next thing is we are not stopping working on the optimization, so it will get better with the time. So that's something to keep in mind, because that was a topic what was quite busy after releasing the demo first part. Okay, so we can do 30 kilometers an hour in a minute. There we go. So actually I'm speeding in a second. Let's take it. I'll slow down a second. Here we go. I'm speeding it. Okay, so I'm getting the first question, and the question is if the SimRail will be released on a physical copy. So initially it won't. Initially it will be only digital version, and you'll be able to purchase it on a Steam. We will see in the future what will happen to the SimRail. I mean, from a perspective or selling it in a physical copy. So it is possible, but in a moment, like on a release date, it will be on a digital copy. Okay, so. Okay. Here we go, we can do a 30 here. So on the top right corner we can see that we have to be careful, because we will have a red semaphore in 1 kilometer. So bearing in mind that this locomotive is so hard to brake, we have to watch it a little bit. We have to be very careful. Okay, so yeah, I have to be very careful, because I'm not the best locomotive driver, so I'm trying to basically to survive till the end of this scenario. Okay, so I got another question about the specification of a PC what we are currently using on a stream. So this computer is equipped with a graphic card what is RTX 2070. The CPU is AMD Ryzen 5 and is 5600X, and we have 16 gigabytes of RAM in here. So so that's basically a specification of the PC what we are currently using on this stream. So yeah, with this prologue we will be able to play, of course, this mission, what is something what is new, and you'll be able to try it. And we've done another little bit surprise for you, and it's also as a thank you for all of your input, what you basically given for SimRail to actually develop. And that will be a night mission with an elf, so basically the same route as the demo version 1, but you'll be able to try it during the night time. What is a different approach and of course different experience. Okay, so we have to brake in 200 meters. This route is quite slow, so you have to bear in mind the speed limits. We can do a 30 here, but basically I hold on too long the brake pipe in here and we got to the standstill. Okay, let's start. So I have another question about the editor. So the editor on a full release, there will be editor for customization of locomotives and trains, and after release there will be editor where you will be able to customize your own sceneries and stuff. So part of the editor will be basically added a little bit later on. So that's the plan for a second. Okay, so we have to stop somewhere here. Okay, and we are stopping. Okay, so let's give a call to this dispatch.
41 4018 to Station Gałęźny, requesting entry.
Hello, you will enter on substitute picking out.
So yeah, and then our plan for editor is that we will invite, let's say, some people for actually testing the editor before the release. So just keep bear in mind and have a look around in the Facebook, because we will be looking for people to actually cooperate with, because we are really open-minded and we like the input from different people. So just be active, watch out, because maybe we will choose you to help if you would like. Okay, so let's switch on a different lighting and let's have a save. And I think we are ready to roll. Okay, maybe too much power. Okay. So of course, as in the demo number 1, you are able to choose the camera from outside of a tracks, and sometimes it's quite a nice thing. Once you are on such a long route, you are able to jump out, have a look around from outside, see and admire the train what you are currently using. It is quite nice. It's a nice feature to see, and you can choose it on a keyboard, pressing, let's say, 2, when 2 is, let's say, orbital view, and when you press 3 you have kind of a free fly camera. Yeah. So let's get back to the cab, so we won't go through any red lights. Okay, and let's be careful. so I just got another question, and it's about optimization for a Windows 11. So yeah, Windows 11 had a release not so long time ago, and we are currently working on optimization specifically on Windows 11 as well. So so we are working on it, and yeah, so basically the answer is yes, and as we are working on a global optimization of the game, we have a specific team who are basically working on optimization of specifically for a Windows 11, because that's where people are moving. They are moving the system, so probably the Windows 11 will be the platform, quite a big platform, and we are focusing on it as well. So don't you worry. Okay, so we can do a 50 here. So yeah, let's speed up a bit. So the next thing, what you are able to spot as a difference, because we got a lot of feedback about the sound quality, and we focused a little bit more on the sound. So you can hear now way more sounds and bigger variety of the sounds. So we focused on that as well. So you already can see some of the improvements on the. I have to break. I have to finger. No, not emergency. Here we go. That's what is happening when I'm trying to talk and trying to drive the train as it's supposed to be. Yeah, so it wasn't the best. But I'm learning. That's why the simulators are on the market, to learn actually, so you don't have to do it in real life. You don't have to make such a mistakes in real life, so it's better to actually do it here. Okay, so we have to unpressurize the brakes because I've put it too much braking power here. It happens. Maybe I will be a better driver soon if I will spend a little bit more time playing. Let's see if we can.
41, 40, 18, answering.
Okay. Yeah, so as I basically stopped a little bit earlier, I already contacted the dispatcher to actually change the light, so I don't have to stop again. Here we go. Yeah, unfortunately I have to wait until I will unpressurize the brakes again. So I'm getting another question about the cruise control in the trucks. Yeah, I will show you in a second how the cruise control works, because it is quite specific in this locomotive. You have a cruise control in the ELF as in demo number 1. I don't know if you've seen it there. Okay, but I will show you. I will just speed up a bit. Okay, so the cruise control is over here. So in the second we have cruise control disabled, and what we're gonna do, I will just see if we are we'll be happy to do it. Okay, so here we have our speed gauge, and once I will switch on the cruise control, and I can do it by pressing the plus and minus keys, and I pressed once and I set it on 5 kilometers an hour. I will press again, and I will press again, and basically that's what I will be doing until I will reach the speed what is my desired speed. So once I have it, I can do 100% power, so it will basically show how much power is given to the cruise control. So the cruise control have now a full control, let's say full as it is possible, control over the power and decreasing the power for a train. So what will happen now, we will reach the 40 kilometers an hour, and the train will try to maintain the speed limit. So but in the meantime we change the speed limit, so I have to change the cruise control speed limit as well. So we can see that the power we have minus 100%, so that's what the train is trying to do, to actually decelerate to the 20 kilometers an hour speed, so it basically try to compensate it. But bear in mind that the cruise control don't have a regular brakes control, so it is only the electrodynamic force of a train. So that's something what you have to bear in mind once you are using the cruise control. So we can see that we are nicely rolling in a second. We are doing 20 kilometers an hour as we set it on the cruise control. So that's something, that's a feature what is very important during such a long and slow rides, because it helps you a lot. You don't have to control it manually. So yeah, so that's quite a nice feature. I really like using it, because sometimes when I'm talking and I'm trying to explain something, I'm forgetting to actually to brake a bit. So okay, so we reached the 50 kilometers an hour speed limit, so we can update our cruise control. Here we go, and we can see we are already speeding up. Okay, let's have a look how it looks from the outside. And the next thing is that once you are using, so I just got another question about the dispatcher mode, and yes, so the dispatcher mode will be available with a full release of a game. So that will be a feature, that will be a part of a game what will be available only in a official release, official and full release of a game. So it won't be added, so it won't be updated in a demo version or prologue. So that's something to look for in a full release of a game. Okay, so we can see here incoming speed limits, so that's something to bear in mind. So I would try maybe to decrease it a bit. Here we go. Okay, so I just got another question about if we are planning to add another tracks, another routes on I think that was the west part of Poland. No, we are not planning to do it in a minute. So there will be extension. There will be a development of a SimRail, but we are not planning to do anything in the second on west part of Poland. Here we go. So yeah, and there is a 30. I should have done it a little bit earlier. So I'm overspeeding now, but I cannot see any police in the bushes, so maybe I will get away with it. Okay, so I got another question about videos from a dispatcher mode, when you'll be able to see something from it. So we are planning that you will see something maybe with the start of a new year. That's the time period where you'll be able to expect something like that officially. So you'll be able to have a look how it will look. So I'm just talking in a second, and I forgot to update my cruise control, and I'm overspeeding in a second. Okay, here we go. Okay, so you can have a look around. So the next feature is that you can stand up, have a look around. You shouldn't really do it once you are driving. So so that's why it's better to get back to the chair quite quickly. Yeah, but that's something what you can do. You can once you're gonna go to the standstill, you can have a little walk around and see your train from the outside. So that's something what is added to the game. And the next thing is that you can see that now the train is moving, like let's say a little bit more than it was before. So we can see how it is bouncing, how everything moves. So you can feel the train a little bit better now. So that's something what we focused on as well, to actually give you a little bit more immersion with the game, because as our physics is so great, we wanted to give you a visual representation as immersive as we can. So we are working on it all the time. So bear in mind that we are developing all the time, and we are getting better with the time. So what you can see now, we can be a little bit better in a month's time or something. So that's something to bear in mind, that we are constantly developing the SimRail, and we are constantly collecting your feedback, and we are thinking about the things what you are saying to us, and we have meetings, and we are thinking about almost each one, and we see if we wanted to implement it in the game, if it's a good idea, and that's why we are getting better every day. So that's why we would like to say, as a whole SimRail team, we would like to say thank you very much for every single input what you've given us in a community hub after the first demo release, because it helped us a lot. Okay, let's switch the basement switch and let's slow down a little bit. Okay, so we are approaching the Janov. We can see the roads on the left and right. Yeah, so I should really slow down a little bit, because the electrodynamic is not enough in this case. Okay. And I forgot that we basically switched the speed limits in a second. So let's update my cruise control to 50, and let's give him a power, because now the cruise control had a 0% power available for its work. Here we go. It's 50 kilometers an hour. So we are approaching the mine. We can see the mine. And if you try to listen, we can hear way more depth in sound design what we are doing. So we can see that it's getting better. We have plenty of more sounds in our games, so it is growing and getting better all the time. So that's why we are getting so excited about that, because we can see that we are getting better every single day. So that's what makes us quite excited about this whole game, because we are developing, and once we are developing constantly, we will develop to the best possible position. Here we go. Okay, so I have another question from Steam, because as I mentioned earlier, maybe somebody just joined us now, because we are streaming in a few places in a second. So that is a question from Steam about the editor of a map. So we've been talking about a little bit a while ago, that the editor for the sceneries will be implemented into the game a little bit later, after the full release of the game. So with a release of a game, there will be a available editor for the locomotives and stuff like that. but later on you'll be able to oh wait a second, because I have to start decelerating, I think. Okay, let's switch off. Okay, so what we can do, I can show you some of our new sounds in the game. So I will try to go to the full stop. Okay, we're getting to the full stop, and listen to the sound now. How different it is. Here we go. So that's something what we implemented in the game, and it basically shows a different level of a sound design if we compare it to the demo number 1. So that's something what we are getting excited about, and yeah. So it feels way more natural now. So we are quite happy about that. Okay, so because I broke so harshly, we have to unpressurize the brakes again, and probably we're gonna be a little bit late, as we've been 2 minutes early. So I think I lost those 2 minutes in it just now. Okay. So yeah, so I just got another question about, let's say, some kind of a hardcore mode where you will be able to, let's say, switch off the hood and basically try to cooperate with the locomotive as it is in real life. So yeah, of course it is possible. By pressing the G on your keyboard, you can hide the whole HUD. So you are basically left alone here, and you have to look around on the screens and read the timetable from what is on in the front of you, and basically you are left alone. But if you don't feel like it, because it was so hardcore, I forgot to press the Desmond switch. So if you don't feel like you are ready to go full on without the HUD, you can switch off some parts of it. So by pressing F1, you can choose, you can hide the first group of HUD. By pressing this F2, you can do it. So that's the tips. F2 is a tips where you're gonna hover over something with your mouse. Once you press F2, you can hide it. F3, there is a timetable on the left hand side. F4, we have our communication, and F5 is basically a login from a Steam. So yeah, you can basically do it as you want. Okay. So we can do a 40 here. Okay, so let's, oh no, 20 now. I forgot. Okay, so I got another question about if there will be a timetable in every single locomotive. So it depends basically on the type of locomotive, and it won't be in all of them. So it is how it is in real life. So in the truck's locomotive, yeah, you can see the timetable in the front of you, and you can read it from here. and you'll be able to work with it. So yeah, so not in all of the trains it will be possible. Yeah, so I just got another question about the support for a rail driver. So yeah, that's something what we are working now on. So it will be supported with a SimRail, and you'll be able to use it with our game. Okay, so let's give a little bit more power for our cruise control, because I'm doing 40. I don't want to lose my license. Maybe that will be enough. Okay, so I'm getting another question about the dispatcher mode. So yeah, so the dispatcher mode will be available with a release of a game. And it will be available in the multiplayer mode. So basically there will be players. Some of them will be dispatchers, some of them will be train drivers. And as I mentioned before, we're gonna be looking for people actually to beta test it. So if you would like to take part of it in it, just be careful, just watch our website and watch our Facebook page, because once we will be ready and we will be looking for testers, for people who would like to try it earlier on, we will be posting informations about it. So if you would like to participate with something like that, just look on our Facebook profile, because if we'll be ready, that's the information what will be there. Okay, so let's slow down again. As I'm doing, I'm always speeding. I don't know, probably that's something in my blood. That's at least excuse for Polish officers. Okay. Yeah, if you press the plus key too fast, it will go to another option, what is maximum speed. So we have to do it slowly. Here we go. It's 20 now, and I will give maximum power for cruise control. Okay, so we are slowing down in a second. Yeah, so there's a more clarification about where to look for information about participating in our tests for dispatcher mode. So have a look as well and focus on a Steam page, because that's not everybody have Facebook, and it's not, let's say, maybe that's not the best place to do it, and that's why we have a Steam. That's why everything is built around the game is in the Steam. So check on a Steam page, because if there will be something, there will be on a Steam page as well. So that's the place to go, where you'll be 100% sure that you are not missing out on anything, any information, any development, let's say progress. So yeah, once you want to know what is happening with us, go to the Steam page, and yeah, we're gonna be there. And yeah, also we will have a community hub on the Prologue. So if you will be playing the Prologue by yourself and you came up with quite a nice idea to actually implement something in the game, or change, or you came across some kind of a bug, just post it there, because that's our place where we are going, and we are writing the stuff, and we are reading the stuff, and we are trying to understand what is happening, and we are getting the informations from you. So yeah, if you have any ideas, or there is something what you would like to say to us, just go to the community hub and place the information and the feedback over there, because the feedback is very important for us. Here we go. So we can do a 20 here. Going over the bridge. So I just got a question about the shadows and the post process for the game and stuff. So I would like to say that what you can see now, that is not a full release of a game, and all of those things what we mentioned about the sound, about the shadows, graphic implementation, and the post process, that's something what we are trying to figure it out now. And what you can see now, it is probably not how you will see in a full release of a game. So that's why if you see that there is something what you would like to say and comment and give us a feedback about those stuff, go to the community hub and write it down for us. Then I don't know, maybe you would change something in the post process, and because we will read all of those stuff, and we will take it into the consideration as well once we will be developing it further. So yeah, just bear in mind that that's not the full release of a game, and it probably will change because of your global feedback. If plenty of people will be saying something similar to each other, that's why we're gonna change it, because that's the game for the players. The game is not for us. It's for everybody. So we would like to make it best as we can. So that's why we are listening to the feedback. And also just please remember that it's in the development process, so we are constantly working on it, constantly changing, we are considering. So that's why that's basically the point what I'm trying to make. So yeah, so thank you very much again that you are giving us the feedback, that you're saying what you're thinking, and you're giving us ideas, because that's what makes SimRail the best simulator in the market. So yeah, I have 800 meters to the stop, and maybe let's switch off the cruise control, because we can do a 40 here, and let's decrease our throttle here, because I like to take it slow. I mean slowing down, because I'm not the best train driver again, as I said, and I have to be very careful to not fail this mission. Yeah, we can use the horn. Here we go, so let's... Here we go, let's slow down a bit. 400 meters. Here we go. Maybe I've done a little bit over the top, but I really don't want to go too far. Okay, so we're gonna slowly roll to this semaphore, and we're gonna contact the dispatcher and say that we would like to get an entry to the Sosnowiec Dębówka. So I just got another question about licenses and about let's say earning the experience in the game, getting the some kind of a levels and punishments in the game. So yeah, there will be something like that in our SimRail, and it will be, let's say, as well in a multiplayer where you'll be earning your level. And about the punishments, so yeah, it is quite important. And you'll be able to get some punishments. So if basically I will now cross over the red light now, I will get a punishment because that's something what I shouldn't do, and it will be basically in my statistics as well. So that's something what will be in a SimRail full release. Okay, so I have 200 meters. I can give a shout to this dispatcher.
41, 48.
Okay, so I'm putting a shout. Here we go. So yeah, so we are ready to go to the track number 6, and yeah, so the dispatcher is saying to not forget to add a SimRail to our wishlist on Steam, and that's the important message what I would like to repeat as well. So if you are interested in the SimRail, just add us to your wishlist on Steam, because that's telling us where we have in such a part of the world we have response, and we can consider development into the, let's say, different routes as well. So yeah, so that's quite important for us, and it's a nice touch as well that we have such a big response with our SimRail. So yeah, don't forget to add a SimRail to your wishlist on Steam. Okay, so I can increase the speed a little bit. So yeah, let's admire the views a bit. We can do 40. I don't know how much. So yeah, I just got a question about the ETCS support in our SimRail. So yeah, that's something what will be implemented in the game. That's something what we already have. So yeah, so you will have to deal with safety systems like ETCS and SHP. So yeah, so that's something what will be in the game, what you will see in the full release. Okay, so we can speed up a bit. Yeah, we can see the police going to answering some call, probably not on the blue lights this time. So yeah, I just got another question about if we'll be able to play as a dispatch and train driver with your friends. So yeah, that's basically our how we can see the development of a multiplayer. So yeah, you'll be able to, one of your friends will be dispatch and you will be a train driver, and the dispatch will be sending you signs, and you'll be able to communicate in the multiplayer. So yeah, so definitely yes on this question. Okay, so let's slow down because I'm speeding. So I have 1 minute delay, so it's not too bad, I would say, for my standards. Okay, so yeah, let's try to stop somewhere where it's reasonable. Here we go. so yeah, you can use the on the numpad 9 and 3 key to control the braking level. Okay. Let's try. Yeah, I think that's reasonable to stop somewhere here. Here we go. So yeah, as you can see, it took 54 minutes 31 seconds, and I think that's something what we are giving you as a thank you as well, because considering the first mission, now the second mission, and again the mission number 1 with a changed environment, that's quite a lot of gameplay what is available for free to try. So yeah. Okay, so give me a little second. I'll give a little break. I will just drink some water, and we will go to the mission number 1 with Elf during the night time. Okay. Okay, hello again. Into the second part of a stream, I'm getting the information about some of the problems with a stream on a Steam. If you are experiencing some problems with the connections or some lagginess, you can always check on our Facebook page or on a different Steam page. So we have a Steam page on a Steam like as a SimRail Prologue, and SimRail the Railway Simulator as a the full release. So in all of those places you can find the stream. So if you are finding any trouble on any of them, you can always try to switch to the different. And yeah, our team is trying to see what is happening over there and trying to fix it. So I just got another, let's say, question about this dispatcher mode and being a train driver in the same time, but on the same computer. So it won't be possible to do it on a one computer. You have to do it on a different computers when connecting to the internet. So that's how it basically will work. Okay, so we managed to survive. We managed to complete the section from Katowice to Sędziszów with our truck's locomotive, and let's try now to drive the ELF train, the passenger train from Ząbkowice to Będzin. And this scenario will take place during the nighttime, so it will look a little bit different. There will be a different approach. That will this basically will be a different experience. Okay, let's go on.
Welcome to SimRail demo.
Here we
are
go.
at Dąbrowa Górnicza Ząbkowice station.
I'll
Today
switch
we will
on
run passenger train
some of the
4665
HUD
on the
as I
section Dąbrowa
don't need
Górnicza
it in a
Ząbkowice,
second.
Będzin. You will use
Okay.
the 34WE electric multiple unit to operate.
Let's let him finish. Okay, so we have an ELF in front of us. The train, what we know from a first demo, what we are familiar with, but now we are in a different setting. We can see the stars on the sky. Okay, so let's have a little ride. So what is different this time? You can basically walk around the train, how it is. So we can have a little walk over here. We can read some posters, have a little feel how it is in this train. So yeah, we can enter the cabin through here. We have nice animations around, so yeah, it's a good idea to have a look around. So here we have lightnings in the cab. So there is a lot of features, a lot of stuff. What some of them, it is an idea from you guys. What you texted us on a community hub on Steam, and we basically, when we've been reading them, and we said, oh, like that's a good question. That's a good idea. Let's implement it into the game. So that's why it's so important, the community hub for us. Okay, so we can see that here we have highlighted the light button, and basically what it does, we switch it on, the lightning in the back, so the passengers won't stay in a dark environment. Okay, so let's activate the cabin. Yeah, let's switch off the Desmond switch, and here we go. We can use this time the high beams because we're gonna be driving during the night time. Let's switch on the radio. Nice one. Let's release the brake. Let's set up the direction, and yeah, so I forgot about the pantograph. So it is quite important in an electric train to have a power source. So we're gonna wait until the contact. We got now signalization about the contact, and let's switch off the main switch, and let's unlock the brake pipe now. So it takes way faster in this train as it is shorter. The brake pipes are not so long. Let's release the spring brake, and I think we are ready. I hope so.
Ząbkowice,
Let's give him a shout.
4065 ready to approach the platforms.
Clear to approach the platform.
So you can see that here we have more features. We can use the whistle now, what was in demo number 1. So you can experiment, have a look, little walk around in the cabin or in the train, and try to find new features what we added, because we have quite a lot of stuff what we have changed from a demo number 1. Here you can see different lightning during the nighttime what we added. So that's something where we are developing ourselves, where we are pushing this simulator forwards. So there is plenty of stuff. There is a ton of stuff what we added to the game, and that's a big part. A big part of it is your input, what you're given in a community tab. So that's why we are very glad. That's why we wanted to say thank you, and we are giving you quite a lot of actually gameplay time for free as a demo and as a prologue. Okay, so you can see now that we are able to stop now. So that's basically a place on a platform where we are happy to go to the full standstill. Okay, so let's open the doors. We can also, there is a step, and we can see how the people are getting inside. There is a man who is walking into the train. So yeah, during this time I can have a little walk around. Probably as a train driver I shouldn't do that, but fortunately that's not the case in the simulator. I won't lose my license here. So that's the place to do stuff like that, not the real life. Here we go. So we can have a look around how the people are walking. So, you're welcome in our train. So yeah, that's something unique in the train simulators, that you are able to walk around, see how the people are getting inside. That is getting quiet, and we can get out as well, so we can have a little walk on the platforms, see what is going on. If we didn't scratch the train or something like that, we can admire the model, admire the environment and sound design. Okay, yeah, actually we are ready to go, and we'll be delayed a bit. Okay, let's get back. Yeah, so the dispatcher is asking us to actually leave. Let's sit down. Let's close the doors, and let's switch off the step. Okay, let's go. It's during the it is night time, but I can use my phone or whistle. That's something to do in the simulator, not in real life, because probably the neighborhood won't be very pleased with stuff like that, with the behavior of a train driver. Okay, so let's talk about cruise control in this train. So this train have a cruise control as well, but it's different. So each train have its own unique systems, unique ways of doing stuff. So you have to be familiar with each train to do actually some stuff. So here we have to switch on the cruise control, and let's say we can do a 40 in a second. It will change in a minute. So I'm choosing the 40. I can see here on this screen that is set it to the 40 kilometers an hour, and I have to have the position maintain power or increase the power. So the cruise control have the power actually to operate. Okay, I can use the horn, wave to our colleagues in what are dispatchers, and yeah, let's move toward the Dąbrowa Górnicza Pogoria. I imagine that some of those names can be quite hard for people from outside of Poland, but don't you worry about that. Oh yeah, so we can do 120. So in a second I can just press the 120, and we are increasing our speed to 120. Yeah, so as we have almost 1.5 kilometers, I can jump out from a cab and admire the view from the distance. we can switch on the HUD again. So that's something where we can admire the journey. And by pressing the number 1, we can get back to the cab. Let's use the horn as we are approaching, and the police, even the police have to wait for us. Okay. Yes. Don't want to break that part. Okay, so I have to unpressurize the brakes because I pressed by accident the emergency brake. And yeah, so I unpressurize, and after unpressurizing the brakes, we have to give a little time for the train to actually be able to accelerate again. So that's basically what is happening in this train in real life. So each problem with a train, something what is not, let's say, pleasing for a train drivers, we are implementing it in the game as well, because we want to be a true with a real life. So if there is something what is not, let's say, very nicely done in any of the trains, or something what is let's open on the right hand side. Yeah, so let's have a look if there's people getting out. Yeah, nice. And by pressing the number 3 on a keyboard, we can have a free camera, and we can see what is happening. We can do some nice screenshots from a nice angles once we are waiting for the time when we'll be able to roll away from here. Yeah, we can see the people waiting. Yeah, so there is a lot of stuff what we improved, especially with optimization of the game. That's something what we are working on all the time, constantly. We're constantly finding the places where we can improve our simulator to be smoothly running on any kind of a PC, and that's quite difficult task, because there is so many different hardwares on the market, and there is so many variations of a hardware. So if the PC can behave a little bit differently with a different CPU, with a connection with a different GPU, so there is a lot of stuff what we can do, and we are constantly working on it, and it's quite a difficult task, but we can see the improvement all the time, and that's why we are getting so excited, because we can see that we are getting there. We are actually making the SimRail better. So we have 900 meters, so let's not, oh, here we go, we have a truck locomotive going the opposite direction. We can wave to him. So it gives quite a nice experience for the game once we are driving during the night time. Let's use the phone. We are approaching the platform. I'm always finding it difficult to actually stop on this platform in the place, so I basically took it very carefully this time. I hope so. Yeah, I think I will be fine this time. Because physics in our game is very realistic. We are counting the physics. We are counting basically how the pressure in the brake pipes are moving through those pipes. So it is very specific and very realistic. So that's the part what we are very proud of in the SimRail. How the train behaves, it is basically how it is in real life. So we are very, very happy about that, about what we've done so far in the game, but we will get even better with the time. let's wait a little bit to our departure time. We can see in the top right corner that the clock. Oh yeah, so we can close the doors again, and we are ready. I'm a mean driver, so yeah, as I am using the horn during the night time. It is 2200 in a second. Okay. Yeah, let's use the decimal switch. Okay, if I would like to hide some of the HUD, I have to press. Oh yeah. I think you can press F3 or any part. F1, F2, F3, F4, and F5. That's the buttons what are hiding the sum of parts of a HUD. So have a little play with it and have a see what you would like to hide, what is best for you. Okay. So yeah, so the next thing what we implemented into the game, and that was as well idea from one of our community hub members, that our lighting system in the buildings, it's dynamic. So there is there will be a different parts of a city what we lit up during the, let's say, time like it is now. So it's quite late, but it's still evening. But that's different. What will be at 3 a.m. So we focus on that as well to give you a full immersion, because around 3 a.m. there is not much lights in the windows which you can see, because everybody is almost everybody is asleep. But 2200 there's plenty of people watching the telly or living their life basically. So that's something, that's a little feature what is added as well into the game. Okay, so we have to approach this red semaphore. I don't want to overshoot it, so I'm going nice and slow. Here we go. Okay, so now I have to get to the full stop, and that's basically how it is in real life. If we can see the red semaphore, we have to stop and make contact with a dispatcher and communicate him that we are
requesting permission to enter the station.
and we can see the crossing is getting closed for the cars, so we can see that the dispatcher is not asleep and he's doing his job, and he closed the road for cars, and we are now able to approach, and we are going through the permissive signal. So it's a signal what is overridden through the is overridden the system and is overridden by a dispatcher. And once we are going through the semaphore like that, we cannot exceed the speed limit over 40 kilometers an hour. So that's something what is how it is in Poland on the Polish railways. Okay, so let's speed up a bit, and we have platform quite not too far from us. Okay, so we can admire the environment, and you can see that how the train is behaving now. That is moving from the left hand side to the right hand side. Is bumpiness on the tracks, and you can hear sometimes when it's not everywhere because it depends on the rails, but where is the connections with the rails, and there is a little bit of a gap, you will hear this specific sound when the train is going through a gap like that. So, and it happens only where the physical gap is, because now you cannot hear it because the rails are connected to each other without a gap. Okay, so let's move a little bit. Here we go. Okay, so if you feel like you're overwhelmed with amount of knowledge what you have to have as a train driver, and you don't know the signalization, and you're kind of overwhelmed, don't you worry. With a full release of a game, there will be let's say some kind of explanations of some of the signals and how to behave, so it will get way more clearer once we will release the game, because you'll be able to go through some of the rules and read it, let's say understand it. So don't you worry if you feel overwhelmed with amount of a knowledge what is needed to actually to drive the train. So yeah, I can get up again and have a look if our passengers are happy in our train, and let's go move a bit, and I can see how many people are inside. Yeah, let's get on the platform, and I can walk next to the, oh no. And now we implemented a jump as well. That was the idea from one of our community hub members as well. So there is a jump in the game implemented now. So here we go. Let's get inside of the cabin. Let's sit down. Okay, we are happy.
4665, ready for departure.
Yeah, we are ready to departure. Let's start rolling. And our next stop is Benjamin Xavera. We can admire the city around the town. Yeah, and we can do 40 here. And actually I can use the cruise control, setting it onto the 40. I have confirmation here that we are doing 40, and I set it to the 40, and I can relax a bit. I can change my perspective and have a little fly around, relax from the outside, and I still see everything. I can see where I will have to stop, but of course I cannot see what is actually in front of me, so probably I won't be able to react straight away. But yeah, I can admire the train, admire the view from here. So I can do 100 here, but I have to bear in mind that we're gonna be stopping in around 1.5 kilometers. So yeah, and I have to give a power to the cruise control. That was my mistake. I didn't push the lever here, so it wasn't reacting, because the cruise control didn't have power actually to operate. I'll switch it off now. Okay guys, so if you have any questions, any thing what you would like to know, just write it in the comments, because the stream is on in a few places. You are able to contact us. Just write something there, and we'll be able to answer your questions. So yeah, feel free and feel welcome to actually ask questions about the future of SimRail, about the development, about a vision what we do have, about almost everything what you would like. So yeah, I'm approaching the engine. I can do it from the outside. Getting to the end of it. Let's not forget about Dashman switch. Okay, so let's open the left hand side doors. And we have a little bit of a time. Yeah. I'll have a look around again. See what is happening. So yeah, remember that you are able to download the game, download the Prologue. So everything what you're watching now, what I'm streaming, it is available for free for everybody who would like to try the SimRail. Okay, I can jump in back.
4665, ready for departure.
Yeah, we are ready for departure, so let's get back to the cab. I don't know if I'll be so pleased if I'll be on a train and the train driver will be walking around the train all the time as I am doing, so probably that's not the thing for me. Okay, let's go. Let's use the horn a bit and let's start rolling. Here we go. So the next stop is Benjin Miasto. Let's see how it looks like during the night time. We can do 110. We can see in the bottom right corner. And we have 2 kilometers for the next stop. But we have the amber light in 750 meters, so it's something to bear in mind. So yeah, so those important informations are on the top right corner. So I just got another question about dispatcher mode in a single player with the AI. So no, that's something what won't be in a game, at least for now. So the dispatcher mode will be available for in a multiplayer mode. And what we've been discussing about the dispatcher mode is that some of the people will be train drivers, some of the people will be dispatchers, and there will be a communication between them. And yeah, so you'll be basically able to choose if you would like to be a train driver or a dispatcher. And yeah, the next quite important thing is that once we'll be getting to the full release, we'll be looking for people who would like to take a part in testing and having a little bit of fun in the multiplayer. So if you would like to participate in something like that, just look for the informations on a Steam page or our Facebook page. So that's something where that's the place where we will be sending informations about looking for the people to have a little play around in a multiplayer mode as a dispatchers or train drivers. So yeah, if you are interested about that, just have a look around on our social medias and Steam pages, because we'll be looking for people there. Okay, so we are happy to roll. Let's close the doors.
Ready for departure.
Yeah, we're ready. Okay. So yeah, we can start rolling, and our speed limit is 110 kilometers an hour. Of course, you can change the units to the imperials as well, so that's not a problem. That's something what you're gonna find in the settings. And yeah, so but just bear in mind that we have to stop for 250 meters, because we'll have to So I will contact actually the dispatcher just now.
Benji,
See?
4665, requesting
We'll
permission
have
to
to,
enter the station.
Go to the full standstill. There we go.
4665 to proceed to track number 2 at Benjamin Station.
Yeah, we're ready. Brilliant. Let's proceed to track number 2 at Benjamin Station. Yeah, the amber lights signal say that the next semaphore will be red one. So information is like that you will find in a special place in a full release of the game, where we will be explaining some quirks and features of the game and some rules depending on the country where the route is. So yeah, so if you don't feel familiarized with rules what are on the railways, don't you worry about that. We will get you covered. Everything what you would need to know will be there and explained it quite well and clear. Yeah, so I can actually accelerate a bit. So I just got another question about the dispatcher mode, why it won't be able to be, let's say, with AI trains, what is in a second. So in a second, once you're playing the single player, the scenarios are, let's say, pre-made, and we know what can happen, we know what can change. In a multiplayer mode, there is so many factors what can change that basically it won't be, if in a minute, it will be very hard to actually, let's say, predict what can happen. And the next thing is the communication with AI, because once you are communicating with another player, it's a different thing, and that's what we would like to implement, that you will have to communicate with another real person, real human being. Let's see, let me open the doors. Yeah, and yeah, have a look. I wasn't too bad actually. In Benjamin, I had 1 minute. I was late, so yeah. If you will look at this, that we have almost half an hour of a gameplay here, and we have almost half an hour again on the same track and during the daytime, and we have almost an hour on the second track. That's a lot of gameplay available for free, and that's our thank you for all of your input, all of your questions, all of your ideas what you're implementing in a community hub. So the thing is, if you have any ideas, anything what you would like to share with us, just please give us a shout on a community hub, and the development of a SimRail will really there'll be quite a huge input what will happen now in the community hub, what we will see now in the comments and stuff. So basically we will look through what is happening, and we will see what we will have to implement into the game, what we will have to improve and stuff. So we are very open for your ideas. Yeah, so that's something what I would like to say as well. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so on the Steam there will be another community hub, and there will be a post where you'll be able to post plenty of stuff, everything what comes to your mind. I'm looking if I have any more questions. Okay, so I have another question from a Facebook stream, and it's about our plans for developing the routes, more routes and stuff. So yeah, there will be we will be developing the SimRail. It will basically we'll be implementing the more routes, more scenarios into the game. So this simulator will be, let's say, it won't be left alone as it is, on a full release, but we'll be developing it further. So yeah, there is a plans for making more routes and more trains. So yeah, don't you worry about that. Okay, I'm looking if we have any more questions. So I got another question about if we have in plans to do any route what is not used anymore, as far as I understood. So in the moment we don't have, but everything can happen because we are, let's say, exploring plenty of ideas, plenty of possibilities to develop the SimRail. So we are not saying no. Of course, that's something maybe what is a good idea to actually do, and probably we'll have a think about it as well if there is something, if that thing will be a good thing to do. And yeah, so but in the moment we don't have anything already planned like that. Brilliant, thank you very much for your question. Okay, let's see, do we have any more questions what I will be able to ask? Okay, so I have another question about the routes as well. So where the routes will be, I won't tell you exactly. That will be a kind of a surprise. But what I can tell that it won't, the route what is now, let's say, developing, it won't be placed in Poland. It won't be even placed in Europe. So so that's a little bit of a surprise for you over there. Okay, so I'm just checking if we have any more questions as we are getting to the end of a stream. Okay, so yeah, so there is another question about the different, let's say, laws and rules on the rails in a different, let's say, part of the world, in different countries and stuff. So yeah, those rules varies from a country to the country. So if there will be a route in a different country, there will be another, let's say, set of rules what you will be able to go through to understand. Everything will be explained to you with let's say guidance in a scenario, and the place in the game where you'll be able to read through some of the rules and through the signs, and you'll be able to actually get more knowledge to understand how to drive in a specific environment. So yeah, so the rules are different in the countries. So that's something what we would like to add as it is in real life as well. So basically it will be exactly how it is in real life, because that's our aim, to actually do it how it is. So yeah, so we would like to give you an immersion. Basically, if you will be in some particular country, you will have to obey their rules how it is and do it their way. So that's why, for example, in the trucks like route like that in Poland, going to the Belgium, we are using the permissive signal where you cannot exceed the 40 kilometers an hour. That's something what varies in different countries as well. So that's, for example, the cork of a Polish railways. Okay, thank you very much for your question. That was a good one. I hope that I covered a lot of it. I'm just checking if we have any last questions to ask. Of course, if there is more questions what you would like to add, and there is after the stream, just go to our community hub and write it down there, because every day we are reading through them. Sometimes we are not able to actually answer them because there's so many of them, but we are reading each one of them, and we feel like you're giving a quite a big and huge input with sharing your thoughts and your experience and your ideas with us. So yeah, I'm getting another question. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I got another question about the date of a release of a SimRail. So that's something what the date of a release of a game, of a full game, depends on the feedback what we gonna get this time on the prologue as well, because we will be collecting your ideas. We will go through all this community app, as I said just a minute ago, and if we decide that there is something what we would like to change, what will make the SimRail better, we would like to, basically we will take longer, but because we would like to take this simulator to the next level. So it basically really depends on what we're gonna find in the community hub and what the feedback will be after this prologue. So yeah, so that's basically how it is in a second. Okay. Okay, so I'm getting another question about seasons and if there will be some. So in our SimRail there will be a dynamic weather. So if you for example will be in multiplayer mode, the weather what you can see outside will be happening in the game. Of course in the place where your route is happening. So we have plenty of conditions. What you will be able to find on the routes in real life. So yeah, basically everything what you can experience in real life, being outside, it will be in the game. So yeah, so basically yes, you will be able to see any kind of a weather in a SimRail. Okay, let's check if we have any last questions as we are going to the end of a stream. Let's say maybe the last question if there is any. Yeah, so there is a question about the language supports, if there will be anything more than Polish and English. And yes, of course, there will be way more languages available in full release of a game. And yeah, so don't you worry about that. We are working on it as well. So we are translating it to the different languages, and yeah, so it will be available and it will be possible to play it in quite a lot of countries on their local languages. Okay, guys, thank you very much for all of your questions. I hope that I covered them and I shared with you a lot of, let's say, our thoughts, and I basically show you how it looks from our point of view. And I want to say again, if you'll be trying to play it by yourself, and you have any thoughts or any ideas, just go to our community hub and place your thoughts over there, because we are using it to actually make the SimRail even better. So yeah, thank you very much for the stream. That was a pleasure to actually have a little chat with us, with you. And yeah, thank you very much again for all of your questions and your input to the SimRail. And I hope that we're gonna see each other again quite soon. Thank you very much. See you later.